Hi Manish.
I'm about to explore a side of Udaipur that nobody goes, so I'm excited. And this is our mode of
Transport. So yeah.
let's go. It's spicy inside.
Inside no.
It's not spicy.
Only the top part. You can see is all the
Yeah. Oh, pepper.
that is the
Paprika?
spicy pepper, yeah.
This is stuffings with lentils.
Take a couple of shots. Then finally farming areas with the potatoes in this part.
Potatoes. This you see here is a pile of dung. Since we're in a village, they have to make full use of whatever waste that comes from the animals there. And so they compile it together. They will turn it into, let it dry, right?
Just for a year, like after the rainfall, then it becomes like compost. So then we can use it for the farming related all the activities as a fertilizer. Then the other usage of the dung, if you come and see over here, you will find these all the cow pits you find on the wall over here. So these are made with the dung. So people use them as a domestic fuel, because here in the countryside part these things are available very easily. So either they are using the wood or the dung. So they just mix the water and then they give the shape like that, and then they keep it here in the sunlight to make them dry. So a couple of days it will take to make them dry properly, and then they can store it somewhere in the home, so whenever they want they can use it. And whatever the storage they are having, mostly they will be using it during the monsoon season, because during the monsoon for 3 months when it is like the rainy season for us, so in that time it is not possible to make any of these all the things. In the winter they are making most of them, and then they store it for the summer and for the monsoon time they can use it for the domestic fuel.
And also because we're in a village, they don't really use electricity here. And so this acts as a place for the fire, acts as a place for warmth for them when it gets really cold like now.
This is the mango tree. Now you can see the flowers. If you can see on the top of the branches over there, in the month of at the late of the March, you will find the small fruits them like taking shape over there, and then until the summer we will find the fruits on them. So mango is the fruit of the summer season. So now in the winter we can see the flowers on the trees, but until the summer season we can find the sufficient number of fruits on the trees over there. Because wheat is the main crop of the winter seasons. In the winter you will find more and more people, they are growing the wheat, because in northern part of the country wheat is the main, like the source for the food. And then some of the people you will find like they are growing the mustard also in the fields, because compared to wheat, mustard doesn't need much water to grow.
Hi. Oh, I am 31. How old are you? 65?
ऐसी हाँ पूरा
Wow. Very healthy.
Yeah. Works a lot in the farmland, so
Yeah.
that's why.
और शादी की तो 65 पर ले
He's
गया
very strong.
Yeah.
और 5 2 हाथ थोड़ा सोरी है
7?
Yeah.
हाँ
Wow. Good, huh?
ये मेरे घर वाली
The wife?
Yeah. Why?
Oh, that's the wife. The wife also works in farm or the wife works in farm also. And the children.
आप शादी कैसे करते हो हमने ऐसे पकड़ के ऐसे
Dancing? Storage of the grass. And this is for the cattle, the storage area.
In the monsoon time, we keep the cattle here inside.
Monsoon, they come in here. And this is the actual place of home.
Yeah.
In here, this is an actual home. Is that his house or no, a
Yeah,
neighbor?
yeah.
Oh, it's his house?
Yeah. That's why
There's
those
still
allow-
children or it's
Yeah,
grandchildren?
Yeah, grandchildren.
Oh, okay. Okay. These yellow little things?
Yeah, these are the mustard. So then you can see in that farm,
Oh, there's more mustard over there.
you can find the nest of the weaver
my
bird.
gosh. What is that?
The nest of the weaver bird. Have you heard about the weaver bird?
Just now you showed me the bird? No, different
that's
bird.
not the one. Weaver bird, they make the nest in the monsoon time.
So here we are, like after our village tour, and I've got a lot of questions for him. Hope you're ready.
Yeah, well done.
About the village that we just went to.
Okay. Actually, that village is the part of the region that is known as Badi. In that kind of the countryside part, mostly you will find the tribal people and they are living over there. Majority of the people, if you go in the countryside, you will find like they are involved in the farming activities.
Now we are having a quick pit stop, drinking chai. And apparently, I've learned from Manish that chai is a really social activity. People, I was wondering why there are such small cups, right? Like, I can just finish this in one gulp. But he said that it's a social activity, so the locals drink chai multiple times a day here as part of meeting up with friends and having a chat when you bump into them along the way. So you mentioned that Udaipur is a place for a destination wedding, and a lot of people come here to look at because the lakes are very beautiful. So it's also called the City of Lakes. And you mentioned that tourism is one of the main drivers of forces around Udaipur.
Yeah.
So let's talk about tourism in Udaipur. I will ask like rapid fire questions. What is the peak season for tourism?
Winter is the best season. Our winter, November to February. These are the 4 months when you will find the highest number of the tourists in the city. Also, because of the festival, generally maybe in the end of the October or maybe in the starting of the November, we have the Diwali festival, the biggest festival we are like celebrating in Hinduism. And after the Christmas time and the New Year times.
And of course, the prices will also increase when it's peak season.
But in the off season, the things are like declining a lot.
So, would you say that the summer season and the monsoon season, which happens in
Summer is from April to June, and then from July the monsoon starts. So July to September, these 3 months are for the monsoon.
So, if I were to ask you, what are the months to avoid to travel to Udaipur?
Although in the monsoon, it is nice if you see with the perspective like in terms of the natural beauty, because when all the surrounding becomes super green, so in that aspect it can be very good for you. But sometimes because of the rainfall, if you need to make some changes in your program, then it can be a little hard for you. But the summer generally people are avoiding. Because,
It gets 45 up to 45 degrees.
45 is the very common, like every year we have to every year like we have to go through this kind of temperature. Summer you can avoid from April, May and June, and then for the rest of the year it is comparatively fine, because even during the monsoon also it is not going to like rain all the day. Maybe during the peak monsoon time, maybe a couple of days you can find like it is raining constantly 2 or 3 days, but apart from that it is totally fine.
I think in terms of prices, it's still, even though apparently this is peak tourist season, it's still, I feel, rather good priced, rather affordable. Like he was mentioning, general hotel prices can range between 1,000 to 2,000 rupees. Yeah, if you want to live like a king, you can go stay at the Taj Hotel in the middle of the lake. I don't know how much that costs, but my hotel was around 2,000 a night, which is around, I would say 25 USD or about 35 Singapore dollars. So it's rather affordable, and it comes with breakfast as well. So hostels apparently are quite common and very highly encouraged from what I hear other Indian friends were talking about.
they all encourage me to stay in hostels. If let's say we talk about local food, the dinner wasn't exactly local. There were some tourists there, and the prices were around 400 to 500 per dish. What about, let's say, at this stall where we are at now, and when we order chai, how much would that cost?
Well, the chai depends if you are in the countryside in a very basic part. Actually, the cup of the chai we have, it's like a shot of chai.
Yeah.
So maybe 20 rupees, something like that. It can be very easy for that. But because these all the things, like these are all the local people who are selling these all things in the countryside, and also the building they are using, the places where they are making these all chai and everything, this is their own place. So they are not going to pay any kind of the rent for that. If the place is rented, then comparatively these all the additional expenses will add in the products what you are buying from them. If the place is owned by the family itself, then comparatively the products you will find less in pricing over here.
I think that's a good point. So I feel like besides checking out the old city, which is a must when you're in Udaipur, doing something totally outside of the usual tourist track, like coming to this countryside here, is really humbling and really grounding, and just seeing how the local life and how happy they are, and the kids are all very friendly and chatty, and they also speak some English, which is quite surprising.